Amber Wilkie. I'm a wedding photographer. I like to keep it simple. I like to make my clients happy, and I like to deliver images that you will love 50 years from now. I feel like I've been shooting forever. When I was a little girl, I was one of those people that other people would be like, I want to be a ballerina or an astronaut, and I always thought I want to be a photographer. In college, I was supposed to be a doctor, and I got into med school and all that, and then it was time to sign on the dotted line, and it was going to be like 50 grand a year, and I said, you know, maybe I don't want to be a doctor. I don't really like touching people, and I'm like super afraid of needles. And so I said, screw it, I'm not going to be a doctor, and instead I just went to Mexico. And I had this idea that I didn't want photography to get in the way of my experience. That's what I said to myself. I didn't even bring a camera. And the first little town I went to had all these like little tiny houses up on the hills, these beautiful like different colors and things. And I thought, oh my God, I want to photograph this. And it was so weird. It was like something snapped in me, and suddenly I just wanted pictures. I wanted to take pictures, and I bought this super cheap, like 800 peso point and shoot thing, and I just photographed all over Mexico. I was there for 4 months, and when I came back, I was just obsessed, and it's kind of been that way for me ever since. Weddings are really interesting because every wedding is so different, and I love that there's so many different things to photograph at a wedding. You get to do product photography with the food and the jewelry and the rings, and it's portraiture, and it's photojournalism is the big thing for me. I love sitting back and capturing moments between people. You know, I love waiting to see what you guys are gonna do, and the bride and groom, and they're just looking at each other, and it's that little glimpse, you know, during the reception when they think no one's watching them, but I'm watching them, and then bam, I get that on camera, and that is my favorite thing. I always tell my clients I pose about 5% of their wedding day. I pose bride and groom portraits, and I pose family formals, and everyone's together, the whole families are together. 95% of my job on a wedding day is hanging back and looking for moments, trying to frame what's going on in the most beautiful way I know how. I'm all about keeping things stress-free. I know weddings are these big, huge parties you're throwing for like everyone you know, and it's so much fun, but it's also a lot of work. I totally recognize that. And so it's really important for me that working with me is easy. I'm always trying to make things stress-free. I'm trying to make them simple, and I hope that comes across in my pricing. I hope it comes across in my contracts and the way that we can talk to each other. Everything I'm trying to make easy. My style is very clean. I want you to be able to hang your wedding photos right next to your mothers, and right next to your grandmothers, and right next to your kids and your grandkids. I'm Amber Wilkie, and I'm a wedding photographer.